what really is the difference between content that, and what your approach is to creating content for a newsletter that is something that somebody reads, really almost on the basis of like what a newspaper would be if there was such a thing as a daily newspaper about what's going on in the marketing world.
Okay.
How do you approach creating the editorial content for that? That would be different from what somebody might have as a background of, creating direct response, follow-up emails as part of a nurture list.
Yeah, I think the main difference is that you don't think of it as copywriting quite as much. So when you think it's like 80% like if you're doing direct response, kind of nurturing your list, trying to guide them through the process, you're like 80% copywriting, 20% content. Here it's more like 80% content and information, 20% copywriting or advertising or something like that. So something that's a bit more of a sale in some way, so a marketing item. I think that's the main difference. And then depending on what type of newsletter you're writing, in our case, we rely on other news sources in terms of like delivering the news, official websites, from Meta ads and TikTok, Snap, whatever. Like they have their own official announcement website, so we go through those. We go through other publications like Social Media Today, TechCrunch, whatever. Like we literally have like hundreds that we go through, and including groups, including social media accounts of people who have like extra info that they sometimes can post about that. So that's a big part, around half of the newsletter, and that was also the starting point. So it used to be that our newsletter was 80% news. And then we have a second part where it's more us diving into, marketing concepts, looking for insights. One thing that we've launched about a year ago that we really enjoy doing, and I think our readers as well, is what we call data stories. So we go and, try to find data or run our own surveys and try to then paint a more visual story. So charts that are relevant, whether these days a big topic would be e-commerce, especially in the holiday season, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all of these sales days that are happening in the US, who's buying what. Like we did a breakdown of how each generation has different purchasing habits. Those sort of things I think are very useful for marketers, and that's content that we create by ourselves. But we could only reach to do this. We only reached the point of being able to do this after several years of, building our business in other ways. So like dedicating extra resources for this took some time.
Yeah. I mean, starting out, it's terribly difficult in order to gather all that different content. But I really like the approach of thinking in terms of how do we serve our readers with interesting and delightful stories and graphics, and so that we can win the opportunity to promote both our products as well as other products that sponsors might have that would offer.
So if you enjoyed this clip and you'd like to benefit from more monetization secrets, go and register now for Monetization Daily. You can go to monetizationresearch.com to get it. It is a free newsletter that is absolutely awesome. It is delivered to your email inbox, and it contains lots of great monetization tips, tactics, and strategies that you will love. Again, head on over to monetizationresearch.com to get it now.